You weren't given this purpose if it wasn't meant to take care of you. So whatever is going on in life right now, like you're going to be taken care of as long as you're walking in your purpose and in your passion. You can't not be successful as long as you don't quit.
Welcome to another episode of the Good Enough Mompreneur Podcast, where we are here to support you in all things juggling family and business. And I'm your host, Angela Michuli, and this week I am bringing you an interview with Stefanie Moten. And she is a business coach for online fitness coaches and the founder of Catch Flights and Fitness, as well as profitable passion and purpose, which she calls P3. And I can't wait to bring you more about Stefanie and her exciting concepts and ideas that are going to help you be motivated and more confident, but also some strategies that perhaps you can use in your business. But first, I wanted to give you a quick update. I have a free virtual masterclass that's taking place next week on August 23rd, and I wanted to give you a quick update that the time has moved from 7 p.m. to 12 noon. The reason I started this business is to be there more for my family. And when my children's schedules require me to be somewhere else, that's what happens. So I had to change the time. So hopefully you can join me. I would love it if you would be there. You can register and find out more details at mombusinesscoach.com/learn. So now let's get into the conversation with Stefanie Moten. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why you should listen to this interview all the way to the end. Number one, she gives you a free training guide at the end if you're interested in learning more about any of the information that she talks about in this episode. But also, here are some of the things that we talk about. We talk about embracing your journey. We talk about building your confidence. If you're interested in building a community and maybe using some strategies like challenges to launch a course or even your business, she talks about that. And she has a really compelling story about imposter syndrome and how to handle when you get some negative comments from people in your community. So I just so love this conversation, and I know you will too. So without further ado, here's my interview with Stefanie Moten. Hi, Stefanie. Welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to talk to you today, and I know your story is going to inspire so many women because it's important to share a diversity of people who are doing different things and backgrounds, because I think especially moms and women need to see a part of themselves and the guests that I have on this show. So welcome and thank you for your time today to share your story.
Thank you for having me. I'm really
Yeah,
excited to be here.
absolutely. I'm going to give you a quick intro, but feel free to add on to it. I mean, you have such an impressive background. You're a business coach for online fitness coaches and the founder of Catch Flights and Fitness. I love that. The number one fitness coaching program for avid and aspiring travelers with over 1,500 members. And profitable passion and purpose, which is known as P3. We're going to dive into that. So that's so impressive. I'm excited about what you're doing. I love the little niche you found in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Oh, I mean, as far as Catch Flights and Fitness is definitely my love. It bridged my two passions, travel and fitness. As you can see, I even tattooed myself.
I know, I love that. For people who are listening, she's got this adorable tattoo. I love it. Because I'm a travel lover too. I actually have a travel business, so I love it.
Same. I actually went and got my license to do like travel agent work
Hmm.
because I travel with my clients. So both
Hmm.
the 3 and in Catch Flights and Fitness we're incorporating in-person events as well as a lot of online coaching, right?
Hmm.
Um, but to I don't know, I feel like that sums it up. I will say outside of business, previously I used to be a special agent for Homeland Security investigations. So that's like I want to emphasize that I do understand the plight when it comes to building a business while working full time. You know, a lot of moms have to do that. A lot of women have to do that. And
Yeah.
you're trying to level up in your career, but also level up with business, and it's not as easy as it sounds when you first get started, for sure.
Right. And so I would love to dive into your story and how you started Inner Phoenix, which was, yeah, the way I understand it, the precursor to Catch Flights and Fitness.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to start that?
Um, so what inspired me was myself, my own journey. I selfishly started Inner Phoenix Fitness to hold myself accountable by building a community.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't think about it as a business initially, so Inner Phoenix Fitness technically didn't come about until about 3 years into me coaching. When I realized I was coaching my community in order to reach their goals while holding me accountable to reaching my own goals, I wanted to figure out how to do this full time. Like
Right.
I was so in love with helping others reach their goals. I was like, there's got to be a way. But this was back when online coaching wasn't really a thing.
Hmm.
Um, so once I learned, oh, online fitness coaching programs are a thing, they're valuable, they help their clients get great results. I just learned how to do it and formalized my process that I was already in, that I was already working in.
Hmm. I want to learn about that because so many people allow their jobs to hold them back from taking that step towards creating a business of their own. And I think there's this false sense of security and,
Mm,
imposter syndrome. And it's so hard. You were doing, the what you created was so different from what you were already doing. So that took a lot of courage to do that. And so what was like the light in the clouds that kind of, just made you go for it?
because I have a therapist on the Catch Fights and Fitness team that says this all the time. Um, let's see if I can say it as much, but that your body needs evidence. So it needs evidence in order to believe in, like, in order for you to believe in yourself, like, give yourself some evidence. So, like I said, when I first started, it wasn't about building a business. I was just building community. And by me building community and giving value, people were getting results. And
Mm-hmm.
people were paying me, even though it was very small amount. I was running challenges. People were giving me money in order to achieve this, program promise or to deliver this value. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the evidence I was receiving, and I was already doing it while working full time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't. It was very different, but I do have to add that online coach, like, I didn't view it as a business because I was coaching online.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows fitness coaching is a business, and it is a very valuable offer. But
Mm-hmm.
I thought back then I was like, well, I can't be a personal trainer in the gym. I can't actually have like a scheduled Zoom session or anything like that because I'm very unreliable for like time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it because of my job. So my job was, I call it a 24/7 job. They would give us a phone, a laptop, and you could get called into work in the middle of a Saturday afternoon. So I didn't trust my schedule to be able to, have like set times where I had to coach people or I had to train someone. So I had to do something more that aligned with my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and online coaching was just it just at the time I didn't know that that was actual business. Nowadays, duh, right? Like people are doing it all over the place. So if anybody's listening that was like me, was like, how do you do that? Just know it was the only way that I could have done it. So I
Uh-huh.
had to learn how to do it in the online space.
That's a great story because it's like you didn't know enough to overcomplicate it and talk yourself out of it,
Exactly.
which
It
so many
wasn't.
people do.
Yeah, it wasn't, well, I'm not like this person or I'm not like that
Right.
person. The imposter syndrome didn't come until I was already teaching in the like actively
Hmm.
teaching, that I had 5 years under my belt. And then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, I feel like an imposter. I never looked at
Hmm.
my weight as, oh, well, I don't have that. Who's going to listen to me, or I don't have value because I'm still on my fitness journey. It was not until like 5 years in where it was other people made me realize that. Like I started off coaching, to be real with you, not thinking about nobody else but me, because I was doing it selfishly. I was
Right.
learning. I was educating myself so that I could understand and be like my first client, and then I went and taught what I learned with my own context.
Hmm.
And once I started coaching and really putting myself out there, um, I don't even want to call them haters, because they were just like just people that had their own judgments that were based off of societal views. Like, I live in the same society, I understand what they're saying, but it my body had other evidence, right?
Right.
I knew I had value. I knew
Hmm.
I was capable of helping others transform their bodies.
Hmm.
So when someone came to me, it hurt. Like when someone's
Right.
commenting on a live
Uh-huh.
or post or something like that, it hurt. But
Yeah.
I had evidence otherwise.
And I'm just not gonna let you like kind of make it sound small. They came for you. They like
They did, like, it's the
they
the the one story I like bringing up was it was $100 check, and it's interesting because I never even thought about it that way. I 200x my price right after that live. Like, that was the before the promo. So I'll tell you the story. But I had a challenge that I charged $100 for.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 21-day challenge, super valuable. I will admit, now I do those challenges for $25, but it's because they're literally a hack, for fitness coaches to like create um, a lead magnet that they get paid for, and they get
Mm-hmm.
to deliver their methodology. But
Mm-hmm.
I had, back then, it was how I was making money. So it was $100 for this challenge, and someone sent me an email from an email address they created to send me an email, and deleted it as soon as they sent the email. I was like, this is a lot but it was like a really long email that had disturbing money beliefs in it, that
Right.
fitness coaches shouldn't charge for fitness coaching
Mm-hmm.
because YouTube is free. And I was just like, okay, that's a conversation
Wow.
for another subject. The other thing that was in there was my weight and how I looked at that time. And it's funny, right now, I'm even at the same weight that they were at before, but like, to stay focused stuff. The this person believed that because I was still on my weight loss journey, that
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, like, who am I to teach others how
Right.
to reach goals that I haven't achieved according to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, immediately I remember reading that and I was hurt. I was really hurt. I was doing a lot in the business at that time because I was creating my program that I ended up charging, $2,000 for 3 months of coaching. And the to hear someone say that, I was just like, what the? But immediately, because my body has evidence, I gotta shout her out. I've said it too many times. It's this comes from Stefanie Leach from Leach Therapeutics. I was like, let me give her flowers. But the body having evidence, or my body, my mind having evidence, was so important before that moment. So now when I had that moment, immediately I was just like, you know what? I have value. This is a really great program. People have received results. They're getting hype about it.
Yeah.
And I just went live and shared the letter with everybody and ended up getting so many, like, I won't say it was like a viral moment, but it was a viral moment for like emotion. Like, I really felt seen, heard, and understood. And my community was like, yeah, girl, you've been teaching me since 2014 and I've had this. So like, I got all these testimonials from it.
Yeah.
And that challenge was the challenge that led to to my launch that made 15,000. So I was just like, yes, my first launch I made
Right.
15,000.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I appreciate the statement, but now it gets to be just the story from the past that I get to smile about, because I was not smiling on that live. I was so angry, hurt. I remember crying. Like, I was upset. Like, I'm not gonna front. I was very upset.
Right.
But she wasn't gonna stop me from moving to the next level in my business, for sure.
That's an amazing story. And stories like that are so important to hear. And I love that you shared it with your audience, because I think we get criticism sometimes and we kind of deal with it in silence. And nobody learns from that. Nobody, it can hold us back. We want to please everybody in our businesses. And it's really not about us. It wasn't about you at all. It was all about that person's ideas. And the fact that you somehow were challenging them with what you were offering and what you were doing, and they just couldn't handle that. And you are on the receiving end. So,
Yeah, exactly. It
I
wasn't about
mean,
me at all.
right. I just think that that's just so wonderful how you handled that. So tell me about the members that you serve.
I serve different capacities inside Catch Flights and Fitness.
Yeah, or just all of your programs. Like, who is it meant for?
So Catch Flights and Fitness is meant for avid and aspiring travelers who are on their fitness journey. I cater mostly to women who want to lose inches off their waist. We call it so the challenge that we use right now is called Flight to the Bikini, where you yes, where we literally, for like the 20, it's $27, and we're able to do it because we grew our community so much. We're able to give away like paid vacations, hotel credits, like these amazing prizes. I love.
Wow, that's so cool.
Everything is literally built off of what I wish I had access to. So if there's any coaches out there that are like, wait a minute, that's what I do, hit me up, because I want a program like that. But we also like provide online fitness coaching programs that are customizable to the person. So everything that I do, even on the business coaching side, which I'll explain, is meant to take you from where you are all the way to where you want to be. And those two things are different from every single person I've ever worked with. I also have a free community, a Facebook group that I pump value in every single day as often as possible, because that's how I started, was building a community. And I believe that when you give free value out, you're going to get even more back in return. So I do that. I teach my fitness coaches to do that. As far as P3, the profitable passion plus purpose, that came from an energy of seeing a lot of coaching programs out there that weren't geared to coaches who were starting off while working. Like I felt like I had to
Oh.
had to, yeah. When I would join a business coaching program, I always went from the lens, well, I'm gonna have to change some things in order to accommodate my lifestyle because I do travel a lot and my job.
Mm-hmm.
So I created that program with like full time employees as in the back of my mind. Um, and I ended up I ended up with a variety of folks who were either full time in their business or full time in their job. But I will tell you the one thing that goes across the board is they're all moms. So then they have even less time, right? So it's
Right.
like it does not matter if you are full time in your career, full time in your business. If you throw the mom title on top of it,
Yeah.
it's like you even have less time. So
Mm-hmm.
time hacks is what both of my programs actually are geared off of, because even with travelers, like your the routine's off usually,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you're trying to create this steady routine that's sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something that I like to do for my coaches, for my fitness coaches, that I find to be unique is, yes, we teach you how to launch and then grow, but immediately after your launch, you're working on scaling strategies, because that's a time hack in itself. You add automation, systems, and teams into your business early on,
Mm-hmm.
and carve out certain profits to
Mm-hmm.
scale. Oh my gosh, that's that's the only, when I really look back to see what I did in
Mm-hmm.
order to work for as long as I did, it was automation and
Mm-hmm.
teams, and I probably spent like a good $500 a month on just that. Like, it wasn't anything crazy expensive in order to do it.
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, so I think you have found like this really uh a system that works with launches that you teach. And what is it that helped you realize that system that worked?
um So I was actually working in a business coaching mastermind before I started P3.
Oh.
So the coaching program that I joined in order to understand, like, even how online fitness coaching programs look, how would you launch one on social media. So I went through this program and I became a business coach for them the month that I launched, pretty much. But I already knew, I will say, I knew I wanted to work as a business coach by
Mm-hmm.
the time I joined the program. So
Mm-hmm.
I remember telling her, I want to do it. I want to create what you did. Like, I want
Mm-hmm.
to create this too. And she was like, sure, I'll teach you. So
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a good while. But a part of what made me separate, even though I still hands down love her program. It doesn't exist anymore, but it. I still attribute it as probably like the most valuable program that I've ever been a part of. But what I felt like it was missing was the excitement piece before you launch.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was trying to figure out like what we needed to add to this other mastermind, that's what I tried to encourage. But it is I'll say it's a polarizing message. So a lot of fitness coaches don't like challenges. Like, it's not like your clients aren't meant to get amazing results in 21 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are looking to transform their life, their body, their mind. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 21-day challenge is like, that sounds counterproductive. So I do it in a way that helps fitness coaches better understand their methodology, but it also allows their community to understand their methodology, and it gears up excitement, because even though fitness coaches, we don't like challenges so much, our clients do. They love the accountability, the fired up energy for, being able to possibly win something based off of what they do for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that aspect, and I find inserting that in the beginning while you're nurturing your audience is
Mm-hmm.
very, very valuable for both the fitness coach and their community.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that adopting kind of a model where you do challenges as, while you're launching, if I have that correct, is that a strategy that anybody could use in practically any type of business that they have?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you asked that. So, yes, I speak a lot in my head the fitness and fitness businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But most of what I've learned was from all businesses, and I just
Mm-hmm.
tried to make gear it to fitness coaches for my purposes. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to use something that other business coaches do, which is like webinars or 5-day challenges, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, it's you just do something that you can charge a very nominal amount, because when someone pays you, they pay attention. So if
Mm-hmm.
you're already doing a bunch of free content, I'm not saying do more, but adding something
Mm-hmm.
very low ticket, but takes them through an example for your methodology, your pillars, or your framework,
Mm-hmm.
however way you want to describe the breakdown of your offer.
Mm-hmm.
Any business owner can do that. Even a brick and mortar can do
Mm-hmm.
this. Like, just
Mm-hmm.
how do you craft the excitement
Mm-hmm.
inside of, or in the beginning of your program.
Mm-hmm.
Another example would be, I had it at the top of my mind. another another example would be, like, what is it that your ideal client sometimes comes to you without having, that you wish they would come to you having. So for example, I wish my clients just knew the value of meditating.
Mm-hmm.
So before they come to me in the chat, because I have my challenge, I take them through a 21-day meditation series, and I want them to also be used to working out in the gym. So some of the workouts I give have, like, this is an encouragement to go into the gym and get this dumbbell instead of using it at
Mm-hmm.
home. So it's like feeding in the things that I want them to have before they even get to the coaching program.
That is reminding me of somebody who is huge in the YouTube space, Master Sri Akarshana, who I met, and he talked about how he gained more than 1 million followers on YouTube. And it was with that strategy where he talked about giving people what they want to hear and then teaching them what they need to know. Hi, mompreneurs. This is Angela popping in to remind you, if you haven't already done so, join me on Wednesday, August 23rd at 12 noon for my free virtual masterclass called 7 Proven Strategies for More Abundance and Bliss as a Mompreneur. We can have more success with less stress, and I'm going to share 7 proven strategies that I've learned from almost a decade as an entrepreneur, spending thousands on courses, and interviewing dozens of guests on this top rated podcast. So I hope that you will find time to join me, and you can learn all the details and how to register at mombusinesscoach.com/learn. So now back to my conversation with Stefanie.
Yes.
And there's a
Sticky in the
psychology there.
hmm I
that
believe that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead. I
No,
want
I mean, it just reminded me exactly that is what he does with his videos and what he teaches. And that's really brilliant. I think we get caught up in kind of as we're content creators, we're creators as business owners, and we are kind of blinded by what we want to do
hmm
and don't consider enough sometimes what our clients or the people we want to serve, what do they want, what do they want to hear, so I think that that is such a valuable message and a reminder to us to not get too stuck in our own heads sometimes and really think about the people that we're serving.
Yes.
So I think that that's brilliant. Um, I love to hear about some of the transformations that you've seen, the impacts you're having, and that's just so inspiring.
Oh, for sure. So since I've been talking a bit about catch fights and fitness, I must share some wins from there too. So my uh I'm gonna give a bit of both because I'm a big believer that your physical transformation is or your physical weight is just a manifestation of your emotional weight. So
Yes.
so I'm gonna give you a physical and an emotional. So yeah, she doesn't mind. She actually would get excited if I shout out her name. I was like, for a second, I was like, do you say, should I share her name? But I was like, she'd love it. So Tanya lost 40 pounds and 11 and a half inches off her waist while working with me over the course of 7 months. And she was one of the first to join our retreat. So it was a great blend when I started that business of having, I'm delivering that I call it the cookie and the carrot. So the cookie is they want the workout plan, they want a more customized approach, they want a trip, right? And then the carrot usually in fitness coaching is the mindset, the emotional weight loss journey, which I
Mm,
call it, and that's also why we have a therapist inside of the coaching program. Um, and for P3, oh wait, no, I wanted to share an emotional weight one because I don't want people to think like physical weight loss.
right.
Yes, like the girl said
Hmm.
in her email. Yeah, everything you need is on YouTube, but if you're not doing it, you got to address the emotional weight loss side of things. Um,
Right.
that was a lot for a little snippet, I will say, but um, the for P3, uh, since I mentioned the challenge, I will share what challenges did for a fitness coach I was working with earlier this year. She had a fitness coaching business already, so she had an online
Hmm.
fitness coaching program, but she was making averaging about like 3 to 5K a month. But then I was like, girl, add a fitness shop. And it's so funny, but when I worked with her, I didn't see fitness challenges as this much of a hack. But I was
Hmm.
like, give it a try. If you feel like your Facebook group there isn't much engagement, throw in a paid challenge where they come in. And she did something super simple. It was just habit tracking. But she wanted them to build those habits before getting into her coaching program.
Oh,
But
that's
because
so
she,
cool.
right, like
That's a great
there's
idea.
multiple things that you could do with it. But that
Hmm.
girl made 25K in her first 90 days. Yeah, in P3. So super proud of her, and even trusting because sometimes you hear things when you hire a business coach and you're like, I don't know if I want to do that, or but
Hmm.
she was so open to just giving it a try, and
Hmm.
so really proud of her for that one.
Hmm. That's really wonderful to hear. And I mean, we both do coaching, but I think can you just maybe shed some light on the importance of having a coach and finding that coach is that to your person? Because I think that that's so important that people think like that woman, oh, well, you can do it on your own. Well, maybe you can, but it's going to take you way longer to figure it out on your own. And, and I'm sure you can talk about other reasons why it's so important to kind of find that community in person that speaks to you.
Two things that I want to address to that. The importance of finding a coach. Well, finding a coach, period. Like, let's not even talk about the voice like matching voices. But finding a coach is your easy button. I am a huge believer. I have spent $167,000 on coaching over the past few years, and none of that, even the ones that weren't great, I have no regrets. Like, it irritates my soul when I hear people say, I'm tired. I paid for this coaching program and it wasn't valuable. I'm like, was it? Because even the one that I spent a good chunk of change taught me something, how to find the right coach, right? But I do want to encourage, if you are like on the fence, so this is to the listeners, because I know we don't have an issue with hiring a coach. But if you are on the fence with hiring a coach, evaluate what you're doing. Look at like, how fast do you want to move? How slow are you moving? Is the YouTube University really working for you? If it is, kudos. You should write a book about it, because on how to make sure YouTube University shows you everything you need to build a business. But if not, it's because you need that extra support. Like, I've had coaching just to get out of my head. I never want to feel stuck. And even with my clients, I have to tell them, like, you hired a coach. You should never feel stuck. You should always have the next stage in a roadmap. And it's the same thing that they should be doing for their clients, right? As far as finding your voice, I had to learn that the hard way. And when I say finding your voice, it's like finding a coach that when you hear them speak, when you hear them talk, you're like, oh, that's my person. That's happened to me a few times, so it doesn't always have to be like one person, but be mindful that if you don't sit back and actually pay attention to that voice and how they even the mannerisms, like, and how they coach, is so important. And that will save you time and money and energy on figuring out, like, oh, should I go to this person because they're teaching this or that part. Find your voice. Find the person who has the voice that you really are searching for.
Wise statement, because I mean, there are so many coaches and there are options, and seek that person out, because I think if you're really intentional about that, you're going to get the most out of the experience, and if you're willing to do the work. And so I think that that's really good advice. So what is it that you do with your clients that really helps them share and identify their unique talents and abilities? Because I think we have so many blind spots for ourselves, like things that we do well, especially, we don't think they're very special because they're easy to us. So I'd love to hear about how you shine a light on that for your clients and bring that out in them.
So there's two things that came to mind when you asked me that question. Like, what is their unique mechanism? And what if you could teach on this every day for the rest of your life, and you had to come, what is it? Like, I feel like traveling was my thing. When I was asked that question long ago, I was like, well, the person that I would want to work with all the time was actually me. Like, I was like, I wanted to create a coaching program for both the business coaching and the fitness coaching that was for me, when I really needed it. So looking at who you want to work with, this is like what I try to teach my clients is like, who do you want to work with, who you will never get tired of. If you got an example of someone you already know, like, really get clear on that. If it's 2020 or 2005 or whatever, like, get really clear on why.
Mm-hmm.
why that person was going through what they were going through. For
Mm-hmm.
Catch Flights and Fitness, I created it because I was traveling a lot for work,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wanted to stay focused, stay accountable, but then I was also dealing with a lot of emotional weight myself. So I
Mm-hmm.
was crafting my program around that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my unique mechanism at the time, and all the fitness coaches, y'all can laugh at me, but I called it meal timing solutions. It's very simple. I
Mm-hmm.
needed like a simple hack that I could teach, and something that I could talk to multiple times over and over again, and that I was confident in how to teach it. So I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like second guessing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my unique mechanism. I have a client right now who her unique mechanism, she's still trying to figure it out, and it's okay because
Mm-hmm.
you may not have it until you start working a bit. I didn't think meal timing was my unique mechanism until I was teaching my clients that over and over again, and
Mm-hmm.
it was getting them sustainable results. So it's okay if you don't know it right away. Just start
Mm-hmm.
getting your feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe coach a friend or create a
Mm-hmm.
community like
Mm-hmm.
I did when I first started, and just start teaching and
Mm-hmm.
talking,
Mm-hmm.
sharing, giving value, and you'll figure it out. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you run into resistance from people who think that they can't earn an income and a livelihood from doing something that they love?
All the time, all
Yeah.
the because
Yeah.
people still are in my DM saying, can you really earn a living as an online coach? And I'm so thankful for my results. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
grateful because I didn't need them at the time. I didn't need to make an extra $15,000 a month in while working in my full, because all my bills, my life was taken care of with my career.
Mm-hmm.
I was building that business with a thought of that was my retirement. Like
Mm-hmm.
this, I'm building this slowly and steady so that I can retire. It was 14 years later,
Mm-hmm.
and what I try to tell people is like I made 15,000 doing this like 10 hours a week, 10 to 15
Mm-hmm.
hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
and for most people in the U.S., 15,000 is enough to take care of them for a good
Mm-hmm.
little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just use my own. I don't even need to tap into my client results. I just tell them this is what I did, and this is what I still continue to do to this
Mm-hmm.
day. So yes, very
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely takes somebody some time to overcome those limiting thoughts about money and what they can charge and their worth. All of those things come into play. So I really love that you have like this holistic approach to, um, fitness, flights and fitness, because, it's just not one part of you, and then you just lose the weight and you're done, or attempt to do that. We're a whole person that has all of these experiences that contributes to where we are. So I think that that's really great. So now that you have these thriving businesses, what is something that you wish you would have known sooner? Or what do you wish a coach would have told you sooner? Or like, like
Hmm. Two things. Oh my gosh, I feel like there's all the answers all of a sudden are flooding me right now. But
do tell,
yeah,
do
there's like
tell.
so many things I wish I knew. Um, I'll give you two. One, that start working on your scaling strategies after you launch,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to scale your energy
Mm,
regardless of what you did to get those clients. Now
mm-hmm.
you have even less time because you're now coaching those clients.
Mm,
So, and okay, I'm gonna scratch the other one. This is a better one. burnout is going to happen, or I should say is going to happen. It doesn't have a, so when we think of burnout, a lot of folks think about it with family, family responsibilities and career responsibilities. When you add a business on top of it, you have to work on your mental every single day. The first thing I have my clients do is create a morning routine, because I know everybody thinks fitness coaches got it together when it comes to body and mind, but it's just not true. We struggle as well. And creating that mindset routine is the first order of business for both programs. Whether you come in as a fitness client or as a fitness coach, you have to have a strong mental to be able to consistently grow a business. Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's like, I hope I see a time where we begin to educate people at a young age that, your mental tenacity and strength is just as important as your physical health and your physical strength. Because, I mean, if anything, it actually might sustain you longer.
I agree.
Honestly.
100%.
So, I mean, I know I talk to so many people who doubt themselves in becoming an entrepreneur, and um, just are not, so scared to bet on themselves and take that step. So, what is it that how has becoming an entrepreneur changed your life?
It's completely changed my life.
Yeah.
On the surface level, I never thought that I was leaving that job. It was my dream career.
Mm.
Um, and I know people say there's no such thing as dream jobs. I had a dream job. I loved working there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this actually goes back to the last question about like what I wish I knew. I wish I knew that as soon as I made the decision to that I was going to leave and go full time in my coaching business, that I was going to have senioritis and like really not
Oh.
like feel almost triggered to like be at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what I would love to encourage folks to do is that you weren't given this purpose if it wasn't meant to take care of you.
Mm.
So whatever is going on in life right now, like you're going to be taken care of as long as you're walking in your purpose and in your passion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's you can't not be successful as long as you don't quit.
Right. That is so true. Anybody who's been on the entrepreneurial journey knows that it's unpredictable and it seems uncertain, but you just got to learn how to trust your purpose and that you're being guided. And um, if there's like a takeaway that other than that, because that was a lot, that was a strong statement, and that was a heartfelt statement. Um, if there's anything else that you wanted listeners to walk away from this episode, what would that be?
I feel like we covered so much. Um, one takeaway is just like to be encouraged. I honestly just want to motivate.
Hmm.
If you've got a idea, you have a passion, and
Hmm.
you know there's a market need, just do
Hmm.
it and start creating community around it. That
Hmm.
even if you don't have the courage to launch tomorrow, start building community around it, and then
Hmm.
I promise you they're gonna start asking what the next step is. It happens every single time. Every single
Hmm.
time. Yep.
Yep, it sure does. It happened with this podcast. I was an unintentional podcaster. I started podcasting for my travel business, and mom started asking me, "How did you start a business? Who do you think you are?" All those things. And I'm like, and I started talking to all these other moms who felt the same way, and I'm like, "What is this?"
It is a very interesting limiting belief that folks don't realize they're actually showcasing their fear instead of
Hmm.
being like, because we would never do that, right? Like we would
Right.
never look at someone like, how dare you, how do you think you could do it? It's literally you just put a mirror against them, you know.
Right. Yes. And, you know, you get nasty emails from people who just are triggered by it, and that's okay. That's just their, you don't have to have the answers for them. That's their journey. But, just definitely start yours. And I think your story is so inspiring. I love what you're doing. And I thank you so much for being on the podcast and spending time with us. Where can listeners connect with you and see what you're doing and be a part of your community?
Oh, for sure. So best place is Instagram. I am over trying to build up my TikTok. One of my clients went viral on there, and I was like, maybe I should go over on
Shiny
TikTok.
object.
Right?
Woo!
Yes, literally, literally. But a whole hack is repurposing that same that
Oh,
folks on
I know.
folks that are on my Instagram. Don't judge that it's the same reels that's on the TikTok. Okay, it's repurposed. But my Instagram is the Stefanie Julia, Stefanie with an F. Please hit me up at any time over there. My DMs are always open. Another spot you guys can find. I am giving away to the listeners a free training on how to launch your online fitness business. How to craft your offer and actually launch it and get it out there, build that community, and you can find that training at growyouronlinefitbiz.com/podcast.
I love that. That's wonderful. Thank you. That's awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and look
Same.
forward to seeing all that you're going to do, and I hope that listeners join you over on your community. So, thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Stephanie for just sharing your story and your incredible amount of wisdom on strategy to build community and grow your business. And I think that's what we're all here to do. So thank you so much to Stephanie for sharing that. And don't forget to get your free resource. It's linked in the show notes. If you want to learn more about launching your own fit biz, or you just want to be in Stephanie's orbit because she was so fun to talk to. I just want to pinch myself that I get to have these great conversations every week, and I love sharing them with you. So if you don't want to miss an episode, an interview, did you know that just listening to this podcast is a way in which you are just showing up for your business and showing up for yourself? I think every episode is almost like a masterclass because we talk about things that are going to help expand your mind, expand your business, and help other people and really get those gifts that you have to share with the world out there. And this is what it's all about. I don't want that self doubt to hold you back. I don't want you to feel alone because we were all here just applauding you so much. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your time. I know we are all so busy, especially as school is getting back for so many of us, and that's a crazy time. So I hope that this podcast can be a source of inspiration for you during that. And I invite you to please leave the podcast a review if you're loving our content. It helps us know that we're creating content that resonates with you. It helps others find the podcast. And then, two, please share the episode if you know anybody that is interested in anything that we talked about in this podcast episode. So, thank you so much. Hang in there, stay strong, keep going because, business is all about staying in it for the long game. And, we definitely all know that it's not easy sometimes. So we're definitely here to support you. And thank you so much. And I cannot wait to talk to you next time on the Good Enough Mompreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Angela Micheli, and I hope you have an amazing week ahead. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.